Do you think laws are important in society?
Absolutely. I believe laws are fundamental for maintaining order and ensuring fairness in any community. They provide a framework for how we interact.
Have you ever had to deal with a legal matter yourself?
Fortunately, no. I haven't had any direct personal involvement with legal proceedings, though I am aware of common regulations.
Do you think laws should change over time?
Yes, definitely. As society evolves and new challenges emerge, laws need to adapt to remain relevant and effective for people's needs.
What kind of laws do you think are most important for people to follow?
I think laws protecting human rights and ensuring public safety are paramount, as they safeguard basic welfare and prevent harm.
Is it easy for ordinary people to understand laws in your country?
I think some basic laws are, but many complex regulations can be quite difficult for the average person to fully comprehend without expert help. One law that I particularly admire and find incredibly significant is the Right to Information Act. This legislation grants citizens the power to request information from any public authority, essentially making government operations more transparent and accessible. It's a powerful tool designed to ensure accountability and reduce opaqueness in administrative processes. If an ordinary citizen wants to know how a specific public fund was spent, or why a particular decision was made, this law provides the legal pathway to obtain that information directly from the relevant department. The usefulness of this law is multifaceted and profoundly impactful. Primarily, it serves as a vital instrument for democratic participation and good governance. By allowing individuals to scrutinize government functions, it acts as a deterrent against corruption and inefficiency. For example, local communities can use it to question delays in public infrastructure projects or inconsistencies in service delivery, holding officials directly responsible. Consequently, this leads to better resource management and more responsive public services, as agencies are aware that their actions are subject to public oversight. Moreover, it empowers citizens with knowledge, enabling them to make informed decisions and actively engage in policy discussions. My feelings towards this law are overwhelmingly positive. I view it as a cornerstone of a healthy and functioning democracy, fostering a sense of collective ownership over public institutions. It instills a sense of confidence, knowing that as a citizen, one is not merely a passive recipient of services, but an active stakeholder with the right to demand clarity and justification. This empowers people who might otherwise feel voiceless. I specifically like this law because of its inherent capacity to democratize information. It levels the playing field between the powerful and the ordinary citizen. Before such acts, official information was often siloed, making it difficult to challenge decisions or identify malpractices. The Right to Information Act fundamentally shifts this dynamic, promoting a culture of openness and civic responsibility. It's not just about uncovering wrongdoing. It's also about building trust and encouraging a government that truly serves its people, making it an indispensable part of modern governance.
How do laws reflect a society's moral values?
Laws, at their core, undeniably aim to codify and enforce a society's prevailing moral fabric, often reflecting collective agreement on what constitutes right and wrong. For instance, prohibitions against theft or violence are universally rooted in fundamental ethical principles. However, this relationship is dynamic and complex, laws are frequently slow to adapt to evolving societal norms and emerging moral consensus. Consider changing attitudes towards environmental protection or human rights, where legislation often lags behind public sentiment and scientific understanding. This divergence can lead to periods of social tension until laws eventually catch up or new interpretations emerge. In increasingly diverse societies, reconciling varied moral viewpoints into universally accepted legal statutes becomes an even greater challenge. This constant interplay means the legal landscape is always in flux, attempting to mirror, albeit imperfectly, the collective conscience of its populace. And this evolution will likely accelerate with global interconnectedness, posing continuous adaptation challenges for legislators and citizens alike.
How does public opinion influence law creation?
Public opinion plays an incredibly potent and multifaceted role in both the genesis and practical application of new laws. At the creation stage, widespread public sentiment, often amplified through media, advocacy groups, and social movements, can pressure legislators to address particular issues, such as environmental protection or consumer rights. Electoral cycles inherently motivate politicians to align with popular views to secure votes. Without significant public backing, even well-intentioned legislative proposals can stagnate or face strong opposition. Furthermore, public opinion significantly impacts law enforcement. If a law lacks broad societal acceptance, its enforcement can be incredibly challenging, leading to widespread noncompliance or even civil disobedience, making it difficult for authorities to effectively uphold it. Conversely, strong public support can facilitate compliance and even encourage citizens to report violations. Therefore, understanding and engaging with public sentiment is crucial for the legitimacy and efficacy of any legal framework, as it underpins this social contract that enables laws to function cohesively within a society.
Are global laws essential for today's world?
Absolutely. I firmly believe that international laws are becoming indispensable for navigating the myriad global challenges we face today. Issues such as climate change, cybercrime, pandemics, and human rights abuses transcend national borders, rendering purely domestic legal frameworks insufficient. International agreements and treaties provide a crucial common ground, setting standards and establishing mechanisms for cooperation and accountability on a global scale. Without them, addressing transnational threats would be chaotic and fragmented. However, their limitations are equally pronounced. A primary challenge lies in enforcement. Unlike national laws, international laws often lack a robust, universally accepted enforcement body with the power to compel compliance. Sovereignty remains a significant hurdle, as nations are often reluctant to cede authority to external bodies. Furthermore, the creation of international laws can be a protracted and complex process, often requiring consensus among diverse nations with conflicting interests. This inherent reliance on voluntary adherence and collective political will often restricts their immediate and decisive impact.
How will technology affect future legal systems?
Technological advancements are poised to fundamentally reshape the very fabric of law and legal systems, introducing both transformative opportunities and considerable challenges. Artificial intelligence, for instance, could revolutionize legal research, contract drafting, and even predict case outcomes, potentially making legal services more efficient and accessible. Blockchain technology could offer immutable records for property rights or digital identities, simplifying complex transactions and reducing fraud. However, these advancements also raise profound ethical and regulatory dilemmas. How do we legislate for autonomous vehicles or determine liability when an AI makes a critical error? The rise of digital currencies demands new frameworks for financial regulation. Moreover, ensuring equitable access to these technologically advanced legal services is crucial to avoid creating a new digital divide in justice. The legal profession itself will need to adapt, with lawyers focusing more on ethical guidance and complex strategic issues, while routine tasks become automated. It's a period of unprecedented change that necessitates constant vigilance and proactive legislative development for societal benefit.
What challenges arise implementing new laws?
Implementing significant new laws effectively presents a formidable array of challenges for any country. Firstly, securing broad public acceptance and understanding is crucial. Without it, compliance can be low, irrespective of enforcement efforts. This often necessitates extensive public education campaigns and clear communication from authorities. Secondly, administrative capacity poses a significant hurdle. New laws frequently require new bureaucracies, trained personnel, and sufficient funding to administer and enforce them properly. Many developing nations struggle with this resource allocation. Thirdly, the potential for unintended consequences is ever present. A law designed to solve one problem might inadvertently create others in different sectors of society, requiring continuous monitoring and adjustment. Opposition from vested interest groups, who might be negatively impacted by the new legislation, can also create formidable political resistance and lobbying efforts. Ultimately, effective implementation hinges on a delicate balance between public support, adequate resources, and a flexible approach to address unforeseen practical difficulties.